No. It's just like some of these drafts today.
Did you like that the Twitch fan? Like, I know it was played in the LPL playoffs, but
It was a reactionary pick to Deft playing it.
yeah.
And also, like, a lot of this draft was super weird. I mean, you just look at CLG's comp and it's like, this is exactly not what you expect from CLG. Against a team fighting team. And Xiaohu getting a 0 in the second rotation is like some sort of gaff, let's say.
Yeah.
That's British for F up, let's say.
We're not streaming. You can say fuck up.
I can.
It's okay.
I'll work my way to it. It's a long
okay.
night. It's a long
okay.
night.
It's okay. So, hey, there's no sound with the sub alert.
Really?
Uh-oh. That's making me mad. There should be.
I'm told it's pretty good.
Oh, I see why. It's because I turned off the sound here.
Is that going to interfere with this sound?
I don't know. Maybe. We're going to try it. Maybe the cast will sound really bad. We might have to mute it, but that's okay. So, hopefully that'll fix the sound with the sub alert. So, we'll do thank yous to people who are subbing, because we just need to, like, obviously we're going to make VODs out of this too, so I don't want to annoy people who are watching it on YouTube with a bunch of other stuff.
Sounds sounded good, though.
So we'll get around to thanking everybody who subscribes, like, in between games. So anyway, back to the draft here. So when you see the Kindred, first off, the Soraka ban too, I'm just like, these weird pocket bans coming in.
I mean, the story of the day was support bans. Like,
That's true.
To be fair, like, we just came off Casting Champions final. Story of the day was a lot of the meta stuff being banned after it being available. A lot of jungle bans as well. And then support bans was such a... Like, what about 6.8? It seemed like a non sequitur to me. Like, this seems like... Kind of like how SKT could perfectly play an EU lane swap a world. I feel that this is an adaptation to a scrim culture thing.
Well, I think if you think about it, though, like, there weren't that many support nerfs on 6.8, but there were all those top lane nerfs with, like, Poppy and Echo, so maybe maybe the teams are starting to think that, hey, we're going to go after these champions instead, because these are the ones that didn't get hit quite as hard. Obviously, Maokai's still going to be a super high priority pick, because he was already a dominant top laner before... and still really hasn't been nerfed. So I think I can understand some of the logic behind that.
The whole draft here, though, is like, especially from CLG's side, because look, they've obviously been practicing different things. Like, it's not a Darshan Split Push comp, which is
that's good.
Obviously, what they're known for. This draft was super interesting in that they really pivoted, because the big thing for CLG in regular season and in playoffs was to pick a good matchup for Xmithy. For jungle matchups, the highest ban champion by 10% was Nidalee. And then they would just pick Elise. They'd pick really high pressure jungles. They'd basically pick him into a pressure advantage. And he never played Graves because he would always go for the pressure advantage, and Graves doesn't apply a lot of pressure innately. And instead, this is a 180 from that.
But I think that by banning out the Kindred here and first picking the Nidalee, like, I like what RNG is trying to do in terms of forcing him onto, like, a... Not that Graves is a bad jungler, he's just more of a farm and teamfight jungler in the mid and late game. And so they wanted to take away a little bit of that early pressure, and we didn't see the Elise pick. But Elise is kind of a tier below those three junglers right now, because she doesn't do much in the late game at all. So I appreciate what they're doing, and I heard the caster say too that Xmithy had only played Graves once in the entire season.
It was once, and he lost, I believe.
Yeah. I mean, so that was a little bit of a surprise, and I think that if you look at the shape of this draft, so if the Nidalee is going to be picked first, like, this makes a lot of sense because you're trying to avoid any kind of poke composition, because there is sort of a danger that there is going to be, like, Corky Lucian coming through alongside the Nidalee, so taking the Braum early I think is smart, and it causes Royal to kind of change, I think, perhaps some aspects of their draft, and they take the Maokai too. So I thought this was a good response from CLG right away. And then the Alistair and the Azir, so they're pivoting a little bit. This is more of an all-in. These are three champions that can dive you.
But I mean, like, let's take a step back. These are also arguably those three players' best champions.
Yes.
Like, Xiaohu, by far his best champion is Azir. Spawn said this on the cast, but he's literally Assassin and Azir player.
Yeah.
He plays a really good mid-Lucian, but he hasn't done that, obviously, in a long time. And, like, you're giving MLXG the pressure advantage because no other jungler can stand up to Nidalee in pressure from the available pool. And, I mean, Mata is a sight to behold on the Alistair this particular game especially.
And they did ban the Thresh too, which is another old-time Mata staple. So, I mean, this is still going pretty well for both these teams. The Graves is obviously fine, especially if you're going to have a strong team fighting composition, which is not, as you were saying, something that we really know from CLG. But
who's on a champion you associate with him? Stixxay is on Caitlyn. That makes sense. Obviously, who he's going for a counter pick, so that's whatever. But and the Braum is fine from Aframu, but Darshan has already shown that he can play Maokai. It's literally comfort. It's comfort versus opting into team fighting against a team that can only really team fight.
Right, and when you take the Aurelion Soul too, when you build it, Rod of Ages Rylai's, you basically have a huge tanky mage in the front line that's applying crowd control.
Well, I mean, you've got 4 effectively tanky people in the front line and Hurricane Caitlyn.
Yeah, this is really a protect the Stixxay composition. Ultimately, that's what it's coming down to. Now, I don't know enough about the Azir Aurelion Sol matchup, and it didn't seem like Xiaohu did either. It shouldn't go well, I would have...
There was an interview where he literally said, I've never played or scrimmed against Aurelion Sol ever.
Oh, yeah, so that explains his passivity, because he definitely should have gotten more...
Not even in solo queue, he hadn't even logged a single game against it.
Well, sometimes these pocket picks
I mean, to be fair, though, before, because I casted... the promotions games.
Yep.
And I polled analysts, and no one had any data points.
No, nobody knew.
Everyone knew Rod of Ages Rylai's. The build is pretty self-evident, but clearly he's going to be a mid-lane champion. His item build is too expensive. He's too squishy from the jungle. But, no one really had anything to say about him. So, this was very interesting. And we'll get into it, but the way he played the Aurelion Sol was actually really smart.
Yeah. I like the way he controlled the wave pressure on turrets,
Aurelion Sol was basically a Rammus with wave clear. He just powerballed into lane effectively every time.
Yeah, and also it just allowed them to push people off of the turrets once they pushed that giant star across the map. So I actually like the way that CLG played it, but we'll get into that a little bit later. Wushan Lucian, I mean, still going to be having a bit of a tough time in lane here, especially with the shorter range and a melee support. Caitlyn should have free reign, but this does go into a lane swap. And then, Looper taking Poppy is pretty self-explanatory.
So you noticed something about this draft. There's something missing, right? There's a champion that's not picked in this game. Sivir.
Yeah.
Not picked or banned.
But
actually, it's also not surprising, because guess how many games of Sivir Woosh has played? 0.
Interesting.
He has played no games. And
Name been
he was
at
8-1.
Okay.
And that literally 0 games. So that makes sense. And Stixxay loves his Caitlyn. Which is fine. It's different.
I mean, that's the only way he can win lane. That's the problem. Is that...
Well, it's an auto win lane champion.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, to CLG's credit, I do think they're hiding Stixxay's weaknesses pretty well. But even so, it's not great. Let's put it that way.
And Stixxay played above expectation. He wasn't fantastic. He wasn't terrible.
I mean, that's the thing. People like to shit on Stixxay, and it's not that Stixxay is bad. He's just really average.
Yeah.
He's just... average, and he's average at team fighting, and he's below average in laning phase.
Sure, and they pick the Caitlyn, and that hides one of those weaknesses.
And then they lane swap all the time too.
I mean, this is the game to lane swap on.
Yeah, but that's the issue with CLG when it comes to these international tournaments, and why I think TSM would have been a better representative for North America is that when you get into these situations where teams other than CLG have better individual players, because I think Huhi and Stixxay are on the weak as far as their positions in this tournament goes, and their shot calling is fine, but it's pretty good, not great. But at the same time, when you have a bunch of teams who have pretty good shot calling but have just simply more individually skilled players, it's not going to probably go very well for you. And I think that I wonder what's going to happen when the Caitlyn bans start coming in, if they start coming in at all. Tomorrow.
I mean, he just picks Lucian, right? Or just goes for...
He might pick Ezreal again, because he played a lot of Ezreal during the season, and...
Because Ezreal's gone up. I mean, we just cast a Champions Final where Ezreal was the champion of the final, but those teams were papering over the weaknesses of Ezreal, and you can't just draft this same draft and take Ezreal.
No, not this draft, but... I think that they might have to pivot to that, and I think that with the increasing amount of priority on that pick in Korea, we may see it further as the tournament goes.
Let's roll this video game.
All right, let's do it. So, what do you think about the actual? All right, so if the sound is too loud, guys, you just need to tell us.
Yeah, please just be merciless. We need to know about balance stuff.
CLG's Coach 6, I was talking to him before the tournament.
We'll talk a bit. You can let us know how everything sounds.
So what are your expectations here? Like, if you see a draft like this, for me, my expectations are that what we've got from CLG is they have excellent wave clear, pretty much everywhere.
Ridiculous wave clear. Like
Yeah.
Almost the most you could ask for.
So this is going to be a composition that's scaling with items into the ultra late game because they want to capitalize on a 6-item Caitlyn and a big tank line and a powerful team fight. For Royal, it's not like they're going to be slouches in the late game team fight either. I mean, the Nidalee will obviously fall off just a little bit, but you get enough AP and at least she can heal. And of course, the Azir, Lucian
Turn the casters down.
are going to be... All right, turn the casters down. All right, turn the casters down.
I mean, there's the simple fact that you're giving the top side, or the solo lanes and jungle, almost ideal champions that create pressure and a ganking jungler. So CLG have to lane swap. We all expected that they would. But lane swapping gets them two things, in that they play the lane swap better and it hides Smithy to farm on Graves. And you desperately need the lane swap, otherwise this game explodes, basically.
Yeah.
But they were really good about it. We're going to get into the game, but...
Yeah, they did get the early wards down, so we're just going to pop ahead. And we're going to see the invade into the blue side jungle. Able to get some of these wards down. And honestly, like, Royal doesn't do a very good job of...
Well, Royal has no idea what's happening here.
Well,
I mean, they know where they are, but like they weren't scouting
they know where the wards are. Like, I mean, you know exactly where those wards are going to be, right? And the issue here is that, so they don't definitively, I don't believe they know where Looper is. No, they have no idea where Looper is. You can guess that he's right there as a top laner, but they don't have definitive knowledge. So when you see this, right, they're going to see Looper come down, and then they're going to see Mata and Whoosh come here on the ward.
Sure.
And so at this point in time, like, perhaps Royal thought that because they have this Caitlyn against the Alistar Lucian that they were going to get the 2v2 here, and they wanted the 2v2, or that's the only, like, explanation you could possibly have as to why you would show on those wards. There are other issues, though, because... Okay, so let's talk about why you would show on this ward here. So there's a couple factors. So you see the pings going down right here over by the Krugs. So the problem is if you wait and you're down here in the base and you know they've warded right there and you're just going to kind of follow the minion wave up, there's a possibility that they're going to hit level 2 faster by taking the Krugs if you don't disrupt them right there. Mm-hmm. So there is a risk, obviously, to not showing. And that's why you see these pings going down immediately, and they're sort of not forced to show on the wards, but there's kind of a balance here. Either you successfully hide your duo lane and you try and get into standard lanes, or you dodge, depending on what your matchup is going to be in a more general sense, or you're going to show on that ward and try and disrupt them. So some of these warding patterns, if you're not already past the wards, like if you're not already... standing up here, mm-hmm. then you can actually have some issues. So
they commit to contesting the camp start.
Yeah. So it's just a decision that they make.
Yeah.
Because there's kind of a downside to whatever you do right now. And of course, there's always a possibility, too, that if you walk in here, that they're going to be standing like, I'm not going to draw right now, they're going to be standing right here
in
this brush.
Caitlyn Braum.
Yeah, Caitlyn Braum, and then you're going to get wrecked if that happens. So you have to be super careful about how you approach this, because they could just be faking Krugs too. You never really know. And actually, that could have been a big punish right there, because if Alistar just walks in there alone, like, Alistar can get fucked up 100%.
Ignite Braum.
Yeah, you're just screwed, basically. That could be like First Blood right there, theoretically. All right. So, yeah, the other thing that they do right there, as Jad mentions, is if they are going to be doing a greedy weak side clear, you can catch them there too. But that's a pretty risky thing to do, split up with your AD carry like that. So it's just interesting strats at level 1.
Mata does that a lot.
Risky?
Yes. Mata and Key from Ever, famous for their jolly walks in the enemy jungle. I really liked Huhi's strategy with this champion. Like,
just go back and use the movement speed to get right back into lane.
it was super effective.
Yeah, it was.
He basically skipped laning phase and lost nothing. So CLG is 3-man much quicker. Like the tempo of this lane swap is really in the advantage of CLG because Looper's kind of nowhere. Finally, group's very late, so
yeah, it's not going to be that big of a deal though. So Hui went back for a pink ward too, so he's just trying to watch for any ganks that could come out of this lane swap if they're going to send their support or their top for a quick mid lane gank, but probably pretty unlikely at this stage. He doesn't have to drop it just yet, just in case the jungler's going to path up around there and just drop his trinket ward instead. And we're just going to skip ahead a little bit. As you see, Looper finally is going to take the top lane tier 1.
He's so greedy in this play. He's so greedy.
Yeah, while he's just sitting there, not actively pushing the wave.
No information. No information. I guess he could have potentially seen the particle.
Maybe, but I mean, this is you have to say this is a pretty good ward though. So if they're going to come through here, he's going to see them, and if they path through here, or they path around here, or they path through lane, he's going to see them. So actually, this is a super good ward. There's no way these guys can get really in lane unless they come all the way around through Tribrush.
Which hilariously they do.
Or by Tribrush, I should say. But you can see they're a little bit paranoid about that too.
I mean, honestly, CLG do this really smartly.
Yeah. Yeah, forces the flash. So that's what they're gonna. That was the one path they could have taken through without being seen, but it's still a good ward. And considering they dropped the pink ward in there too, they knew that he wasn't gonna have any information about them pathing around. So CLG smart at the early game, that's for sure.
And like to an extent, like at least I think it's 15 minutes or so, they actually, or at least earlier than that, they played the early game really smartly. Like, I was impressed with CLG's early game here. There's like one point where I'll ask you to pause a little bit later that everything kind of shifts from there basically the moment the first blood comes through, but previous to that they played super well. And like I'm really interested to track the evolution of Aurelion Sol as a mid lane pick because the push and skip laning phase, like honestly, this playstyle is reminiscent of one guy, and it's reminiscent of Darien and on his Shyvana many years ago.
That's true.
Like he was mostly proxying then, but it's the same idea of like push and leave.
It's also, I mean, we saw this a little bit when Echo first came out in the mid lane, just using Echo's ultimate over and over and over again. Sure, yeah.
Like this is literally like go back, get a Doran's ring, go back, get a Sapphire Crystal or a Ruby Crystal. Like it's really interesting.
It is nice to see Royal not horribly botch a lane swap.
I mean, you're right. Horribly botched. It's not fair.
I mean, still having some of those issues, right? Still playing a little bit greedy, but they don't do what they did
and to their
at
credit,
IEM.
They played a lot better in the LPL finals when it came to lane swaps.
They did. It's true.
They showed a development. So there's interesting things they can do. Like, we'll see a few teams with double AD Rift Heralds. Like, obviously double AD jungle meta is big, but this is definitely the sort of meta where you can just run around after Looper and be like, I'm taking your turret with the Rift Herald plus Caitlyn.
Right, and also because the Caitlyn has Boots of Swiftness too. I mean, look at the tempo right here, how fast Caitlyn can get into lane. And the thing is that if they swap back, right? So if Whoosh and Mata actually go topside right now and they make those lane assignments instead after the turret goes down, then the speed of Caitlyn and Caitlyn's ability to get to the minion wave faster combined with the Rift Herald take could really change the tempo of this game because they might be able to even get a tier 2 turret while Royal doesn't at all.
A lot of teams have been doing that with Sivacom, Siva Nidalee, Siva Graves. Like, you can definitely trade up with objectives with the Rift Herald. It's why Rift Herald's gone from being trivial objective to actually being really contested. It's one of the reasons why I'm super sad that it's being removed is that Rift Herald's actually been really interesting recently.
Well, it's not being removed, it's being changed.
What, to a 20-minute one-time buff?
Like, I don't know if that's the answer, I'll be real.
like it's going to lead to some interesting fights, but
So, but because the dual lane's on this bottom side, the boot's not going to be such a big deal. But because Whoosh went back and only got tier 1 boots, it's going to be...
it's hilarious watching Xiaohu knowing that he knows nothing about this champion. It's like, what is happening to me? This Anivia Shyvana situation is weird. So I mean, CLG had excellent warding for this, actually, and like their warding around their pressure this game was actually super good.
Right. I mean, even earlier in the game, they had the double pink wards in their own jungle to
And
play
look, they
around
decided
that.
they want to push with Graves, and they got triple ward in the enemy jungle.
Yep.
It's great.
Yep.
And then he's ready to cover, and he's got the speed and the ability to pincer. So like, that play is great. That's definitely, you know, that's just excellent scrimming and reps and rotations of playing that way, because they just do it really well. And look, they make this cut to mid, right? And they do this again and get punished for it, but this is a time when it's exactly appropriate. They've put down the wards, they know there hasn't been counter vision. They control the bot side jungle. This is exactly the way they should be playing.
Also, right here, if we take a look at it too, when we see the pressure, like, because of the pressure they put down, it means that Darshan can actually just farm very safely here at the tier 2 turret. I mean, he's got a couple of wards, some information, but it's really difficult for them to actually, like, break the freeze up here right now. And they can't really punish it by diving, because if they had enough people topside to dive, then their bottom tier 2 gets dove also. And CLG would just take a much bigger advantage in that situation.
Yeah, CLG's playing with pressure, and RNG may not be getting dictated to, but they might as well be. Like, their places to farm on the map are less.
Yeah.
And their camps are being traded, but the pressure is not.
Yeah, so we still see some of the issues here with Royal, but CLG is just playing this entire lane swap situation out incredibly well.
I love that Looper is just there, because he's like, well, I'm pretty sure I'm fine, I guess.
Well, he is pretty... They know where the jungler is, right? And they have pressure on mid lane, and MLXG's in the topside jungle, so he is fine. They just need to do something to break the freeze, but they can't punish it too much. And, CLG at the end of the day is still going to be the one with the greater ability to pressure the bottom side with the Caitlyn range.
And even though he went swiftness boots, and Jack noticed that, like, it's not like Whoosh has any attacking stats either. Like,
no, he also went boots, just not tier 2 boots.
Yeah. Their wards drop off, and you can see they're instantly renewed.
So I don't think anything's going to happen right here.
Nope.
Trying to punish Looper for overextending now that MLXG is recalled. But that's just stuffed right away. And these are some of the, like, whenever I watch Huhi, he just makes, like, really bad mechanical mistakes. Like, his use of flash is really bizarre a lot of the time, or useless as it is in that case. And if you just look at what actually happened there, like, I don't even know what he thinks he's gonna do. He knows that channel is happening, right? Okay. So, watch this. Like, Maokai sees him. There's a sapling there.
For sure he knows. He's trying to flash the hammer, but he fucks it up. He flashes into it.
That's so unlikely to work, though. That's the thing, is it's so unlikely to actually be performed correctly. And I feel like Huhi just, like, flashes random places a lot of the time, or flashes to his own death. And it's just like, what a waste of time in a summoner spell.
Not much to say about it.
Also, because Looper still has flash up, like, what's the best case scenario right there? If you don't hit him with the hammer, he's going to flash whatever you throw at him, too. So, at best, it's a flash for flash. I don't know. It's pretty bad. Just wait till we get to the his Luis Lysandra game later, because that was real bad.
Yeah.
That was... Really poor. But in any case, back to the rest of this game. Just the wave clear, pretty crazy. Obviously, the Rod of Ages into Riley is going to be a build again. They're looking for that big tanky front line for the late game, just so they can maximize the damage from Hurricane Caitlyn and open up as many possibilities for positioning to hit for Stixxay, basically to hit maximum numbers of targets. The thing people don't understand is that if any AD carry was in this situation, like, it would still do massive damage. Which is a credit to CLG's coaching staff that they can like hide Stixxay's weaknesses so well, or his averageness. But I mean, this is basically, this composition is like an 6-item Caitlyn dream comp. It's not that hard to position yourself properly.
So this is the big issue. You need to rewind a little bit. It's like they made these sort of plays earlier. We saw them just going from bot to mid, but the vision is in no way similar.
Right, and so I feel like CLG, they go off this script, and like their first 10 to 15 minutes are often very good, and then when they start to actually have to make decisions out of the lane swap, so the script for the lane swap is now over, right?
Sure.
With all now you're basically playing around the waves. It has to be more jazz, has to be more creative, free-flowing, and they don't have those wards anymore, like you're saying. In fact, there's even a pink ward in the tri-brush right there. And so, as we skip forward, we're going to see them push up the lane.
You need to watch the minimap because, again, they had 4 or 3 wards in that area almost permanently from, say, 4 to 9 minutes. Braum goes over, they get rid of the pink, that part's fine, but they have no information and no idea of where Alistair and Italy are. No information.
Right. And, I mean, there's just nothing blocking him right there, so it's just super easy to punt him straight next to the pit right there at MLXG. And there's no backup either. Like, there's no reason you should make this because Looper still has teleport right here. Mm-hmm. Your guys are on the top side of the mid lane, and what is a Catalyst Aurelion Soul really going to do right here compared to this Azir with actual combat statistics?
I mean, you could see why they made the play because Woosh showed him bottom. He was wave clearing.
Yeah.
So they thought they were fine. They had no idea where MLXG was, and crucially, Alistair was in the front roaming to check the brushes, and that's where Caitlyn. So there was definitely.
But you have to play with more respect than that, right? I mean, okay, let's say that if we go back, let's say that your Maokai and Graves are here or something like that, right? Then you can go ahead and walk. You can walk through this side of the jungle around the Dragon Pit. But if you're not going to do that, then you need to really figure out a different plan for yourself because it's so easy just to walk around right here. You already pushed the lane in. If you want to pressure the mid lane now, just walk through the river. Still maybe a little bit dangerous, but you have to have that cover because what this did is what CLG wants to do is while Looper is here and while we have some other people down in this bottom side, right, and the lane is pushed up, and you know that Woosh is here, what you're going to want to do is the natural play when you have all your lanes behind the river at this point in the game in a lane swap situation where all the outer turrets in the side lanes are down is to just group up with 4 people in the mid lane and try and push down the mid turret. But you have to be able to do that with enough vision. And when you still have people trying to move into the mid lane, like this is just really
and it's the
really
percentage
silly.
play because you can't follow the minion line any further because you have literally no vision. And so you just go to mid, you get 3 shots in, then you come back bot when the wave's back. Like, it's academic, it's what you see all the time, but they played around their vision very smartly, and then 11 minutes they have this brain fade.
Yeah. And then, like, Looper gets in there, too. Easy first blood, right? Because Maokai's not there. Remember, there is no stopping this Poppy from TPing in. So if you are in the enemy jungle, and you're standing right here, right? You want to rewind?
Just rewind it again just to see the positioning as the teleport comes through.
Yeah, sure.
So if Maokai is next to Poppy, can you make that walk? If you know that Poppy's not coming to help.
No, you still shouldn't do it.
I shouldn't, but like, again, this is like a lot of factors. You don't have respect for Poppy, and it turns out they have a lot of wards in the river, plus all the other factors we discussed, and then they just get punished. What is Maokai doing this whole time? Just walking?
He's walking around.
Rip.
So what this does, though, is it messes up... Okay, it does two things. First off, CLG can still make a play off of this. It's not the end of the world, because at least they got Looper's Flash and TP out. They got MLXG's Flash out, too. So at least you can make a TP play based on this particular scenario. And maybe because you actually have minion wave control right now, Whoosh is still on the bottom side, maybe you can, punish in the mid lane. He's going to come in, but kind of whatever.
One thing I want to think about is that I just realized who he took heal this game. We're going to see a nice replay. That combo worked perfectly.
Yeah.
But who he takes heal, and just given what we've seen of Aurelion Sol, that tells me that you can pretty much get away with Ignite on Aurelion Sol. Because you can take a combat summoner pretty freely and have effectively, you have the Rammus Powerball-esque effectively.
Yeah. Getting back into lane.
Interesting that you get summoner flexibility on the champion.
I don't really know if it's worth taking the Ignite, though.
I'm just saying it's a possibility.
Maybe take Exhaust instead.
Sure.
I think Exhaust is probably better.
I guess you're battling in the face most of the time, trying to hit with your orbs, so Exhaust seems good Karthus style,
Yeah, I agree. I think Exhaust is probably best.
I guess Defile and his W are pretty similar. So I made a note, I think it was for 17 minutes, but we'll get there.
I mean, what we're going to see right now is just more battling over minion wave pressure and then trying to group mid to take down the turret, which is usually what happens in the lane swap situations.
But you can see that the moment CLG get picked like they do, like their pressure is just nowhere near the same. Like they don't really return to bottom very much. They're trying to recreate what they had before, but...
It's interesting, too, that Darshan actually... Watch what he does here. He actually takes the red buff from his own side to stop the mirror invade. Because they're going after Rift Herald right now. And when they see Poppy in the top side, they know that this is probably going to be pretty safe. Even though Darshan is actually, I believe, caught out on that pink ward. Oh, no. No, he's not.
Was he ever sinned by it?
I don't think he was. Because he's in the brush right now. He walked...
Yeah, I guess he's not, right?
He's not, right?
Oh, maybe when he exits... I think he's sinned by the corner vision as he puts a sapling down and goes from the brush to clear the red.
I mean, maybe, but at that point it's too late, right?
Yeah. And they pull back from the Rift Herald as well, so this is... Sorry, they just start to the Rift Herald now, so...
What is MLXG even doing? Like, this is really bad by MLXG, actually. He should not be trying to contest this. Okay, this is a big mistake, actually. I didn't notice this before. This is a big mistake by MLXG.
Well, it's happy feeding, basically.
Yeah. His pathing is really bad right here. So, let's go back. So, he's in the jungle, right?
Yeah. He's like, I'm going to take red. Oh, there's Maokai. Crap.
Yeah, he turns around because Looper wants to farm out of that wave and wants to push it forward. So, we have a very brief look here at MLXG as he's going to be hopping over this wall. So, he's not actually doing the Rift Herald. In fact, he never even starts it.
That was an exit route.
Yeah, he pings it, and then they realize that there's invade going on down on the bottom side. But what's really silly is that Looper... This is probably just, the communication failure between, Korean and Chinese or whatever. Because right now, Looper just wants to push out the side. Now, they know that the teleport is up from Darshan, and they know that Looper wants to farm out this top wave. So... You could just give up this red buff. In fact, you could just go for the Rift Herald right now, no problem, and just make that trade in just a couple seconds. But instead, look at what he's. I don't even know what he's doing. Watch LXG. Gotta walk past the crab. Gotta go through the jungle, and then he's gonna turn around. The indecision is real.
Well, he's achieved nothing in the last.
No, he's not doing anything, and. Not only that, but I don't even know what's going on.
He walks into a pink ward as well, so he slowed down again.
Yeah, and they don't even have any pressure over the mid lane right now. So the problem is, too, is that if you're going to make this play... Okay. So if you want to make a contest down here in this part of the jungle, you can't really do it if your shit's getting wrecked and pushed in right in the mid lane, right? Because you have no control, and Aurelion Sol's just faster. He's going to be able to come down into the jungle in order to make that happen. So if you're coming through... like we're seeing him do over here through this part of the jungle, then you're really not going to have any help from your mid laner at all. And you already know definitively that you're not going to have any help from your top laner because he's farming and he doesn't have teleport. So this is just a really
But why is Azir all-inning in the mid at the same time as they're getting like
right, and he goes beyond the minion wave too, right? So I don't even know what's.
There's a replay of it after the fact.
Oh, is there?
It's actually pretty clear. But like, this is not the time to start because he like basically he gets a Thunderlord's proc off and he's like all in. You can see on the mini map he's just like all in time.
And he just goes past the minion wave when he knows the Maokai can just come through right there, right? So he basically just gives them a red buff and a kill, and MLXG does absolutely fucking nothing. So credit to CLG though. I mean, they didn't get phased by Stixay's like silly death, and they force, well, not force. Royal puts themselves in a silly situation themselves.
Sure.
And then gives up a kill. But at least they take advantage of it and they use the TP advantage that they have. And they don't even really lose. They're not even punished for it at all because basically Maokai can just walk freely into the top side right now and pick up that entire wave. So who cares? He gets stopped a little bit, but okay, he lost like 2 CS. Yeah, 2 basically.
Because the basic idea was create pressure up top, have Looper push in, and then force Maokai to choose between 2 waves of creeps and teleporting.
Yep, and right actually here we're going to see another mistake. So Aurelion Sol is back in base right now, and we're going to see Royal with this lane pushed up, and this lane pushed up. They're going to go for the Rift Herald.
Sure.
What? Look who's in base. It's your friendly neighborhood dragon. They should all push mid right now. You don't need the Rift Herald. You need to take away the mid turret at the moment, even though the Azir's not there, right? Because at least you still have the Nidalee and the Lucian. Lucian has a BF sword. Nidalee can come in and just help out with the actual turret killing. So
and Mata meets the wave, and they would have been able to push it and get at least a lot of damage. If you look here, see Mata walks in with the assist ping and meets the wave.
yeah, and not only that, but if you push this wave up into this turret right here, by the time Azir gets there, Azir's going to have pressure.
To be fair,
and
Graves
then
can QR it.
okay, but you still should go for it, and you should still push up that wave, deny some CS. And if Azir has pressure in the mid lane, then you can walk over to the Rift Herald and just go ahead and take it. So this is just a
Well, they have double
misplaced
pinks as well.
Yeah, misplaced priorities here, definitely.
This is the replay where Xiaohu ignores everything in the bottom. There's an assist ping around
it's
a
so
huge
bad.
fight, and he's like, I'm gonna all in. Oops.
He knows they're all at the red buff too.
Now, there was an assist ping on top of the red buff fight as he decides to suicide.
Oh god, it's terrible.
I'm pretty sure that the Korean and Chinese players know, like, warning in Chinese or something. Something.
Danger! Danger!
Yeah. Danger of me getting a solo kill. Wait.
All right, we're gonna learn how to say it, so we're better. All right, you ready?
All right.
Google Translate. You ready? English.
Don't look up red danger. That's probably racist.
Where's Chinese? I don't know if this is actually gonna. Is it gonna give me a pronunciation?
Wei Shan?
Wei Shan?
I just say it like Wei Shan.
Wei Shan? Wei Shan? All right, we're ready. We're ready to play it.
Simplified Chinese, of
we're gonna join a Chinese team now, possibly. Wei Shan?
There's probably a team for us somewhere.
That's gonna become a meme for the rest of this VOD review. Wei Shan?
Wait, we should be looking at Twitch chat. Maybe someone actually knows how to pronounce it. Oops. I saw yeah, pretty much. It's probably it's probably completely out of context, but
That person probably doesn't even know Chinese.
it's an endorsement.
Wei Shan? See, we're learning Chinese together, Twitch chat.
So did you notice the unique thing Mana did this game? We need the items to come up to confirm it, but have you noticed that he has boots and mobility? He's the only person in the game that has it. Everyone else has Swifties by the end on the enemy team. And he gets like 1 million initiate initiations this game. So
Yeah, he
the
played
Moby
pretty
Boots
well.
actually is really important in this game. Because, like, literally, you look at their team. If Poppy's not there, like, Alistair has to do all the initiation. And most
Yep.
of the fights were initiated by Alistair's
Yep.
support.
Yeah, definitely.
Because he had, like, 40 more movement speed than everyone else.
I mean, this fight's just kind of a wash. This actually doesn't matter at all.
No. So what I don't understand is, like, pause the game here. So, like, I don't understand, and CLG does this the next time I see them play, like, they always seem to have two of the world's most defensive pink wards ever on their blue side jungle. Like, two of their pink wards are there. Just the game isn't being played in that area at all, and I don't really understand why their pink wards have been super defensive whenever I've watched them. They have one aggressive one you can see, but...
Well, that actually, now that you bring it up, it actually does hurt them quite a bit this game because Royal starts stacking dragons as the game goes on, and they basically have
They get
no
a dragon
vision
in
control.
the next, like... And
Yeah.
And these double
I mean, they already
pinks are
have
there.
one, right? So the other thing is that they front-loaded all of their ultimates. So if we notice actually what happened when we take a look at, like, the aftermath, I mean, Maokai's ult's going to be at level 1, like, relatively long.
Aurelion Soul and, like, crucially Braum.
Yeah, and even they front-loaded the Caitlyn ult right there.
Which is whatever. Let's
Right. No, you do that because you want to chunk people out because you want to push the turrets.
He literally altered Jiahu every time he's in vision. Which is
Right.
fine.
But having the Emperor's Divide and the Hammer Up, these are the two ultimates. Well, obviously it's nice to have the culling as well to poke people off the dragon. But realistically, if you want to take a dragon right now and you want to disengage, the Poppy Hammer and the Azir ultimate are like the best ults you could possibly have up. So taking away the actual... Or taking away all those ultimates and like trading objectives right here, at least for dragon stacks, is going to be pretty good. And I actually think they could have pushed that harder, too. Like, you don't have those ultimates up, but you have two traps, right?
And you also know that Alistair is not...
He's not tanky at all
No,
right
no.
now. How did Looper even get there?
He went through the river brush, right? He just charged through the river brush.
I mean, he shouldn't even... Mata should not be allowed to be here right now, right? Because there is...
I just don't know what Maokai is doing positioning where he is. Like, he should be next to the Braum, denying, throwing sap.
Yeah, of course. And not only that, but like, they have vision in this brush right now, and so why would you not position your Maokai
Exactly. There.
right
Throwing
here?
a sapling and arcane smashing in the general direction.
Because this allows you to go this way or this way into the brush. And remember, Mata does not have his ultimate right now, so if he gets Maokai W'd, he's just dead.
Risky when you see Lupo, but... Yeah.
Oh, I don't think it's that risky. In any case, so you have the traps here right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you had the Maokai here instead and trying to zone out with the Braum, they're already going to be split, right? And they have the Emperor's Divide. Maybe you can get over the wall and kind of throw that down or poppy ult somebody out.
I guess the one
but-
issue they have is that Caitlyn wants to poke the turret and get cute with traps, so she kind of needs a bodyguard.
Well, sure, but you don't have to go in. You can literally just stand here and threaten it. And if they walk up here and these guys are still over here behind the traps, well, then you can actually just focus them down, right? I think you punish this harder at the very least and you wait for them to engage. You don't just completely puss out and walk away from this turret because you already had the setup.
There's a clear call to kite upwards, though.
Well, sure, they get out of dodge, right? But they already had them split. There's not really any kind of engage anymore because the teleport is down from Poppy, and you know exactly where Poppy is because you see her. And I don't know what this is. This is just a mess.
Yeah. Well, they have no vision in the dragon area at all.
No, and we talked about the pink wards being an issue. Like, why is Royal able to reverse push this wave right now? Like, how do they just magically walk into the river and then just leave, push up the wave and just leave, and then take dragon for free? Like, CLG, they just conceded all of those objectives.
But the weird thing is, their vision for the first 10 minutes till the pick was excellent. Now they just literally have no meaningful vision. None of those wards achieved anything, and they didn't respect the one ward that actually got them relevant vision.
And they have the wave clear, right? They have the mobility on the map with the Aurelion Soul. So there's no excuse why the wave shouldn't be pushed and why they shouldn't be coordinating to get the deep vision.
Well, I mean, the amusing thing is that if you look at the items, they have quadruple swiftness boots, and the enemy has none, only a Moby boots, and everyone else has tier 2 boots of a different description, and yet they're still always out of position and rotating.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Right, that's always funny.
It's honestly like sad to see that star sometimes. That's how slow it is.
I think we'll look back on this game and be like, I don't know about these Aurelian Soul mechanics. We just have no data points.
Yeah,
to know
we have
anything.
no idea.
We're like, is this
we have no idea what's going on.
Is he being amazing and we didn't know? Like,
well, we'll see, because hopefully Wolf will play support Aurelian Soul. Because, so fun fact, guys, like, way back when Aurelian Soul was released, Wolf was spamming support Aurelian Soul in solo queue.
And the moment they confirmed that Aurelian Soul was hard disabled for the rest of the season, he stopped.
He stopped, but he might play it again because he was practicing it at the time. And when you think about it, it does make for a good support, because if you want to roam and gank lanes, like, it's very annoying to see an Aurelian Soul in the top lane with a giant star at, like, level 4.
If you keep pinching the support pool,
yeah,
there's probably worse choices.
Why not?
Has a ranged auto attack in the lane swap. That could be useful.
Yeah, jungle too, also an option, obviously.
I think his build's too expensive for the jungle.
Yeah, possibly.
He's so squishy. Like, he needs to be tanky.
But he could farm really fast. He's like Rek'Sai. You can get back into the jungle.
It's
super
weird.
quick.
It's weird also the kiting around the camps and stuff. Like, it is strange. But like, clearly
TBD.
Exactly. Clearly the clear speed's not slow.
I'm just going to skip up because, like, nothing's going to happen in this game. And if you're Royal right now, you're probably pretty happy with the situation with dragons. So, like, why not just play here and play cautiously and try and scale up to 5 dragons? You might as well. Stixay's super weird build.
I mean, if you're going to be sitting in mid, it's the exact perfect.
No, I know, but he has, like, he went, like, BF Sword, Pickaxe, Zeal, Hurricane. It's not ideal.
I don't mind it, but I take your point. I mean, honestly, builds like this, like, remember, there's a reason people are going Rageblade Caitlyn. Like, you can't build an Infinity Edge to, like, 3rd item because it's just not efficient.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to build the Zeal item, and then even IE 2nd, it's, like, not the best. Like, Rageblade into IE almost feels better, so I think it's, like, Rageblade, like, Zeal item, then IE. Like, IE is just, it's just not buildable at the moment. Rageblade Caitlyn's actually pretty good, just to be clear. It's not actually that bad. She has 2 AP ratios. I'm just saying.
Right.
It's literally not that bad.
All right, well, if somebody's going to do it. It's going to be Stixay, so
it's
you
been
just
played
wait.
in competitive already. I forget who did it. It's a really good teleport by Darshan. They had an excellent word for it.
Yeah, but nothing happens.
Yeah, I know. Well, he's totally out of position for that.
But again, it's like, I mean, they have to respond to this because it's actually Mata's Engage, right?
Sure.
But the other question is, like, at a certain point, why is Azir split pushing in the top side, too? That's this lane assignment by Royal is pretty fucked.
To be fair, Xiaohu does play teleport Azir. So, like, they
yeah.
probably do that a lot in scrims. And they're like,
why is he playing? We didn't even talk about why does Xiaohu have heal this game?
I mean, honestly, when you see they picked Aurelian Soul and you never played against it and you go teleport, that's probably a bad idea, right?
Maybe
don't you go heal as like I don't know anything. Like
I suppose maybe it's like, is this a secret character?
He's like, I don't know how this is supposed to go, and if I have teleport and get solo killed, that'll be bad.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's a panic heal, just to be clear. That's definitely why he has heal.
But yeah, I mean, he throws the Azir turret into the top side there just to keep the containment. But, I mean, they get the TP advantage off of this, which is actually a good play, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Royal, they got the TP, and they got a flash out of Afroboot and a heal out of Stixay, and they lost a heal and a flash on their side, too, for Looper. But just a really good net trade. I mean, Ignite is whatever, losing that at this point in time, so. It's a good stun, though.
Oh, this play was
That was really good.
It was so good because remember that communication's between a Chinese and a Korean player.
Well,
Like,
I mean, you see those guys get knocked up, and it sets up like a
sure,
perfect
but like
ult, right?
you need to have the mindset to go in because remember Mata has no health. He's like at 30%.
Yep.
So you need to know this is coming. This is Mata saying I'm going in or something along the lines because you do not expect initiation from Mata here. Doesn't he flash headbutt pulverizes too?
Yeah. Because you can't even see him on the screen.
Mata's like in that brush. Like it flashes
He's over here.
Right? Yeah, I know. This is like clinical play.
Yeah.
The moment that he sees that there's tanking turret, like this whole play, and like Zhao Hu is like a fantastic Azir player. Like,
Yeah.
he literally is amazing at this champ.
Who was tanking that? Was that Stixay who got the first
Stixay.
blast?
I think it's Stixay. Let's wait for it. It's nobody right now. That's Huhi.
All right, it is Hui. I mean, that's so good.
It is. This is a sick play. Watch. Remember, he doesn't flash to set this up. He has flash. He heals for movement speed, and then gets the Azir sec play.
Yeah, that's really
It's a
sick.
sick play. Like, almost every other Azir you see would have flashed for the ultimate, but he doesn't. He knows the range of it. Because that's a really good
Stun from Aurelion Sol.
the one later in the game is more notable, but like Mata's play here is like sick to flash headbutt pulverize.
Yeah, so the heal, as you can see, the heal's on him right now. So he just used the heal to turn around right here and go this way.
A little bit of heal, obviously. But this is super precise too.
Yeah, and I mean, even like look at the coordination right here too, because I mean, Zhao Hu lands the spear also onto Huhi, and they both go in at the same time.
Just
so
as
Huhi
there's
just
only
gets
a single minion,
fucking
so they have
wrecked.
to tank the turret if they want to help these two people.
Yep. Well, they already are
taking
taking the turret.
Let's be real.
Yeah, they already. There's the turret.
But for this to work, because look, there's like 3 like Sideshow Bob traps down there, and they still pull this off. The quick shot commentary.
If you guys can't hear it, it's because it's the drunk, slow commentary. It's hilarious.
Already in the bramble pit.
It is the best. So listen to it. It's so funny.
Did you hear Rivington say bramble pit?
I did. I was very happy. But I mean, the flaw here is too, like they are doing a good job of zoning this out, right? But if we just look at the setup for this siege, I mean, first off, Maokai is like partying around down here, right? And he's just sort of not even part of this. I feel like this Darshan has been in the wrong place on all of these sieges. Like every time.
Darshan is positioning like he's Vladimir or a different type of champion. Like this is, it's not his wheelhouse.
Yeah, he's just totally in the wrong place. So the thing is
But why would you ever turret dive when Graves ult was used?
Yeah.
Everything's down.
Azir ult is still
and
up.
Maokai's not even there.
Yeah.
Because Maokai's supposed to take the shots and then W to lose aggro.
Yep.
But instead, Maokai's half health. I mean, to be fair, Maokai doesn't have a lot of health. So he doesn't really know this is going to happen.
I mean, but you can't make this play then. You don't try and zone out this deep when you know that Azir ult is still up, right? Because they want to just follow up on the stun
let's be
onto
clear.
the
What's
Azir.
the comms from CLG? They look at... We have information about RNG. They'll know that Nidalee has no health. They'll know that Alistar has no ult and no health. And Culling is down. So theoretically, there's no wave clear here because Lucian won't be able to walk up. You can understand why they make this play. It's just... You can't do it without the Maokai.
No. Well,
Maokai's recalling.
You just can't do it at all because
But Maokai's recalling.
That's
as this
really
dive
bad.
happens.
But I mean, you know that the heal is up to for Zhao Hu, and you know that there's enough mana on this Nidalee to probably get a Primal Surge out also. So, like, what are you actually going to do here if you're CLG? Your traps are all in the wrong place. Like, your traps are all up here. Your traps should probably be somewhere more down here, right?
Sure.
And you need to start moving those forward and actually creating that zone. But you already won. If you're like, this is just pure greed. Like, if you just go back and you look at the setup to this play, and
sure,
it's
but
like,
pause it here. What is the play? Like, tell me what is the play? Is the play?
You just take the turret.
No, but is that the play? Because that's the traps aren't there for that.
No,
Maokai
you just
isn't there for
okay,
that.
but they can't engage if you don't walk up on the turret. Like Xmithy and Stick say, you just saw whoosh dash backwards.
But I'm saying those 4 people on the screen did not have the same idea of what the play was.
No. But this play they should have made is just take the turret, right?
Sure.
Like, there's no need for Aframu and Huhi to be this far forward.
I think Hui's
they
in a
should
decent
be
spot,
here.
but Aframu is the one who steps up when he shouldn't.
No, I don't think Huhi's in a decent spot.
But he's already stunned. He's getting some damage. He can kite back and take 3 turret shots and be fine.
Yes.
It's from at this point, it's fine. It's just that Aframu walks up, and then I guess Alistair.
No. Alistair comes out of nowhere, but you know that the Azir ult is still up too. So I disagree. I think walking up that far is like really bad no matter what. I think you just back off and you just try and take the hits. You know that the Lucian dash is down. Now, I agree that you don't assume that Mata's just going to come out of the blue and do that to you.
With flash headbutt Pulve with no Alistair ult and 20% HP.
It was a sick play, but it was still the wrong call from CLG.
Sure, I can agree with that. It's just all I'm saying is that wasn't a 5-man clear call of zone them off the turret and take it.
No, I mean clearly when your Maokai's like recalling.
Because, like, if Maokai was recalling with teleport, you could understand it to, like, refill and teleport in aggressively, but
no, he doesn't
didn't even
TP.
have teleport.
Yeah, that's bad. But that's like the second mid-siege that CLG has really botched. Like, they could have had this tower twice now, realistically.
And look, Lupa knows what he's doing. He walks up, heroic charges.
And look, the turret, it goes away.
That was, yeah.
That's how you do that.
I think they just got baited by too much damage. Like, they were just like, oh, we're getting damage, and they just got completely...
My God.
This is like...
That was a sick play,
That
though.
is a sick fucking play. That's an awesome play.
But you have to respect... Like, it's just a lack of respect. Like, now, probably nobody in NA can do that play, so maybe they're not used to doing it, or having it done to them.
But the balls to flash headbutt Pulve with no health...
Like, good teams will make that play.
I think there's like a handful of players with the balls to make that play. I don't think Wolf would make that play.
Oh, yes, he would.
He doesn't have the same aggressive mindset as Marta. I'm not saying he can't, I'm just saying I don't know if he would. Gorilla would have made that play.
Fair enough. So we have another... Is CLG Siege going to work this time, Papa Smithy?
I mean, is it a siege?
Apparently not.
Aurelion
Apparently
Souls.
it's conceding the dragon again.
Don't worry, they still have pinks on their blue buff. It's safe.
Got the blue buff boys.
But like, have you looked at you look at the inventories as well, right? Like, there's triple pinks in RNG's inventory, and there's one in the inventory, and it's on the support, who probably is the one.
Yeah, and they haven't had, you know, eyes on dragon for 15 minutes now. They've had just jack shit.
But like, you rewind 15 minutes ago, which I'm not asking you to do that, but remember, this is the side of the map that CLG had exclusive pressure on. This is the map where they were taking the red side, they were able to make aggressive cuts, got caught once, and then RNG have 3 dragons.
Right. And, I mean, you look at this here, there are a couple traps here, but no other pressure. And they don't have any pressure on the top lane, so nobody actually has to go up there. So neither player has TP, as long as they know that Maokai's up there. I mean, look, this is just bad.
But they don't have pressure anyway.
All right. Let's talk about this. So, Looper's going to push up this wave, right?
Yeah.
He's going to push this wave this way, into the lane. And then we're just going to go watch the minimap here. And he's going to leave, right? And
he has no vision, he has to leave.
Yeah, here's the Maokai coming in. So he's going to recall, and the dragon is coming up in what? I can't see, right?
11 seconds.
11 seconds. So this... Oops. I'm not drawing on this. This is how you lose a dragon, right here. Like, you don't have TP. You know they don't have TP, but Looper's recall timing is a lot better. The minion wave is going to be easily pushed in this direction, so they have control over the bottom side. And Aurelion Sol is at base... And so is Braum, so there's no pressure on the mid lane. Meanwhile, there's like 4 members of Royal who are right there in the mid lane waiting to clean this up.
I assume they're freshly shopped as well.
Oh, they should have been, yeah.
Because, like,
We
Rouge
can
has
go
got quite a lot
check.
of items.
Yes, they are.
They shop now. 22-33 with how much left? 25 seconds?
Yeah.
Home
Oh,
guards are up.
Xiaohu's in the bottom lane. I couldn't see him earlier because he was blocked by the YouTube display.
He went there from the base.
Yeah, but it's like a quick push up. So they have all the CLG does such a bad job of managing their side minion waves this game. And as you're pointing out, a lot of that is because they have no vision. Like, they don't even really have any vision in the river.
No. They have an idea of if people are going to the Baron Pit, and an idea if people are going to the Rift Tower.
But see, they have no pressure because they're late. And now Maokai, they see Maokai. Now they see Maokai right here on a pink ward. And Darshan's like, I guess I'm going to punch this pink ward right now? Like, what? Dragon is live. You should not be like, Maokai takes 5 seconds to clear that pink... More than 5 seconds to clear that pink ward right now. Because he's got no attack speed. And he has no auto reset.
And Azira's just come from pushing bot, so he actually just paths naturally to the Dragon.
So they have 5 people on the Dragon right now. And there's no way to contest this.
Well, I mean, Maokai at least gives up, right? He's like, well, I screwed this up. They ping on Baron, but it's just an RNG ping for information.
I don't even know what CLG's doing.
Is this the part where they realize the blue buff's up, I guess?
I guess.
Once they've committed to hitting the pink ward, they're never going to be in position. So it's smart of them to at least get something. But we come back to vision, right? Like, what did they have vision of? They had some sort of vision over the entrance to Baron buff at 22 minutes. Like, they couldn't go anywhere else, so they had to get blue buff. So, again, it's a failure in vision more so than anything else, I think.
Just terrible, though. Their Dragon control is just such crap. At least they have wave clear.
When I was watching this game live, I didn't appreciate how much time Azir spent split pushing with no teleport.
I mean, it's pretty bad, right?
It's pretty hilarious, actually.
I mean, that time it was fine. Like,
Sure,
clearing out the
sure.
bottom wave so you could set up for Dragon, that's fine. But, like, when he was, like, up in top lane versus Maokai, that's not okay.
Punish this tree!
Gonna poke him with some sticks.
No, Styx is actually the affectionate name for Stixay. You're not
that
CLG coach
Styx?
anymore, you can't use that!
I was never Sticks Days coach.
You know, I was aware of that chronology. I still went with the line. Oh, damn it. Does CLG still have vision of their blue buff? Oh, there's pink ward there. Don't worry about it, guys.
Oh, is it gonna get cleared?
No.
Mata is angry at the ward. Yes, it is! You
Get
were
it!
wrong. Whoosh is there. You're right, Jat. They're not playing very well.
To be
right
fair,
now.
the casters were pretty on point with
Yeah,
calling
they
a
were.
spade today.
They
They were like,
were-
this
they were-
was bad.
Dude,
That
my
was
favorite
bad.
my favorite was the Jat reaction on the
Oh,
second Baron steal. That reminded me of like remember there was that time where they cut to me when I was casting at last MSI, and it was when Huni like 2v1 killed like Faker and Marin when they tried to dive, and I was just like, fuck. Because I was like, that was such a shit play, and like I love Jat. Like I tweeted it out because it's like they showed at the end of that game, like when they're doing the highlights, where Jat's just like, come on, why can't you secure the Baron? It's really funny.
He went off on the analyst desk. It was hilarious.
I know, it's good stuff. But that's how you hear like the facial. The analysts, we try and keep it inside and like on the stream, but actually we're like dying inside when we see plays like that.
But the funny thing is, like, fans will be like, you know, like CLG Jad or NA Jad, but it's more like frustration at obvious terrible plays.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like this. You didn't watch those promotion games I casted, right?
Yeah, I did.
So you saw the game where
The 80-minute game.
the 50, like the 150 CS rise advantage into the world's biggest Baron throw ever, and I was like, I just don't want to watch this game anymore. It's like, this is silly. Why am I watching this? You know, like when you have a TV series you really like, and they just like Deus Ex Machina, or like just like incredible, or like a character's like inexplicably stupid, or like does something completely out of character. Like, I don't know if I want to watch this anymore. That's how I felt in that series. I'm like, all right, this is what we're doing. Okay, the 150 CS laughing at the enemy Maokai rise contrived a way to lose the game.
Yeah.
That's what Jat was feeling.
All right, so TP play coming in
Nice
here.
TP play too.
Yeah, it's a good one. So let's talk about why CLG is doing this. So they have the Aurelion Soul in the bottom side, right? And he's clearing out this wave. They know exactly where Looper is. They're pushed very far forward. And finally, they actually have a ward behind them, so they think they can make this play.
Three, and one of them's actually really well placed.
And they know Aurelion Soul can get there faster, too, presumably, than the Azir, right?
Yeah.
So they're going to try and create
Also,
a pincer
Poppy's
attack.
way out of position.
Yep.
To do nothing at all. Alistair is in position, but
I think that was a misclick.
what did he W onto? Was it
MLXG.
Oh.
But Whoosh has quick QSS, so maybe it was.
Remember, Dashan doesn't have home guards yet. He goes for the first viable target.
Yeah. Okay, so Whoosh had QSS, so this is actually a good target.
Yeah.
This is actually a good target. So Arcane Smash backwards.
Here comes the stun from Ronan, so I don't think it registers anyone important.
I think it just hit Mata, right?
Yeah, oh no, it
hit Mata.
Yeah. From memory, there's an awesome ult from... No, I missed. This is a different fighter who has a really good ult. Oh, that was a sick ult. Oh, Q. I honestly don't know the difference in spell effects.
Alright, let's go back and talk about this. So the setup's really good from CLG
Yep.
this time.
Good
This is where you want to be.
Spear is absorbed by Styx, but...
It's pretty good ult from Aphromo, too.
Yep.
I mean, Mata takes a lot of the CC, which is good. I don't know about throwing down that Q onto Mata right there.
She's doing nothing, but he's in Italy, so, you know.
Right.
Lupa does
I remember
some weird stuff.
Azir's still not here.
Well, what's Lupa doing? Because he, like, kites back with MLXG as Mata loses his whole health bar for free.
And then Mata...
Azir's, like, not...
Mata does flash in right there.
Sure. So Zhao finally...
I mean, that was pretty bad. Like, it looks like the communication here from Royal was all over the place. Because you don't just do that, right? If Mata's going to flash in and try and get a headbutt, everybody else seems like they're trying to get out, and Mata, for some reason, is right here.
Aggressively flashing.
Aggressively flashing,
He wants
whereas,
to ignite
like,
someone really badly.
Looper is like, I don't know if I want to do this, and Xiaohu's like, I'm helping.
Who did Mata ignite? I need to know for science. He hasn't ignited yet. He ignites after. He's like, I'm dead. Sorry, guys. Hey, Mata played really good this game.
He did, except for this one time.
Let's pretend that didn't happen. Did you know they didn't give MVP to Mata on the Chinese stream?
What the what?
They gave it to Loop.
That is a really good ult from Huhi, though.
Who does really well this fight. His second Q is big. So like trivializes Whoosh in this fight. Like Whoosh and Zhao have to go together, and they already lost one frontliner.
You just have to leave at this point, right? This is the big mistake. Okay, out of everything that happened, like, this is the actual mistake.
Watch the stun though; it's on 3 people.
Right.
It's a 6 stun.
But like, why is Whoosh still walking forward?
You know why, right? They literally have no idea what the cooldown is on.
No, he walks forward after he QSS. Watch this. Watch.
He wants the damage. I guess I don't know.
This
in
terrible.
slow motion, it just looks terrible, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, literally, that's. I reckon they have no idea what the stun
'Cause,
is
like,
on the.
Whoosh has flash.
But like, literally, the triple stun only happens because I think they have no idea what the cooldown is.
But at this point in time, this is where you just fuck off. You just go right here. Like, you don't fight this
You can
anymore.
go backwards too, I guess.
Yeah, you could split, right?
Yeah.
Just go this way.
I mean,
That's fine.
There's no chase on CLG's side
Because
at all.
remember, Xmithie's is stunned right here, so he can't do anything. So they can literally like
They decide they
Looper
want to
can
burst
just
Xmithie.
walk out like that.
This is where they get greedy. They're like, we'll kill Xmithie and go for 1-for-1.
Yeah, but you're not gonna kill the Graves like that. Did he just dash too?
Yes.
So he's super tanky. I'm gonna find out if he just dashed or not. Yeah. Okay. So
yeah, he's tanky as hell right now. I don't know what items he has. He might have more or something. We'll find out later.
it doesn't matter.
He does
He
have
have
more.
more. Yep.
Yeah.
He also has cooldowns up, and because Maw gives you spell vamp.
Doesn't give you attack speed in this patch anymore.
Right. But it still gives you the lifeline spell vamp.
Yeah. It's
so
everything except 25% attack speed,
Yeah.
which is a big nerf, but you know.
It's still super good.
Sure, but 25% attack speed's like 700 gold worth of attack speed, so it's relevant.
I mean, that was just a terrible team fight from Royal.
Well, I mean, the two people who were occupying Stixay's time were randomly suiciding Mata and Lupa, who just wasn't on the same wavelength. It was a really good teleport. It was a good play.
It was.
Who he hit that second stun, which was massive. Oh, Lupa.
What the fuck was that?
That was a teleport Mata didn't ask him to do.
The TB is fine, but you don't...
Charge in. He didn't know that like someone was calling the rush.
It doesn't even matter if somebody's recalling in the brush.
I know. I love
Okay,
that.
you know why? My name is Looper. I don't have an Iceborne Gauntlet. There's like a 0% chance that you kill Stixay right there. You don't have any burst damage. You're like, I will kill him with my Sunfire. Okay, buddy.
Hey, Stixay doesn't have any magic resist. That Sunfire's doing work.
I'm coming in.
Die! Wait, Stixay was over 50% health. He didn't even have ult. Still they do some damage.
So bad.
Well, here is the freest of Barons. Mata. He wants double kill here. He's going for the double kill.
I mean, at that point, you might as well, right? Everything's already fucked. It doesn't matter if you die.
The Schadenfreude moment.
Well, I mean, seriously, though. Like, he didn't use a summoner for it. He's got a relatively short death timer still. They don't need him for wave clear.
But what's the best case scenario? He denies one Baron buff?
You use your passive to double kill them.
His dance?
Yeah. The cow dance.
Not enough ability power from this page.
Whoosh is the only one who does something smart right there. But it doesn't actually matter that Mata dies. He didn't use anything important, so you might as well try.
Including his life bar. So we get to see the teleport. We'll watch it one more time in regular speed. Good target selection. It was actually a really good ult as well. Like, so many things go wrong at the same time. Xiaohu doesn't have ult. Alistair's the front line and wastes it. Triple Q is excellent from Darren Soul. Man. They boned it up really badly.
They boned it up. Just straight up boning.
They did. Not even good boning, Monster.
We'll see that from SKT later. That's the good boning.
Against International Wildcard EU or International Wildcard Turkey. That is massive W. Oh, Insol's funny.
Also, to their credit, like, CLG is clearly, like, practiced. Like, look at this pressure. This is
fair,
actually,
just
like,
go back,
super well done.
But, like, just watch what happens when they walk up to the turret in terms of spell effects. Like, I'd be
Yeah.
scared. Wait, the moment Aurelian's so, like, how do you, like, react to what happens? Like, they're like, alright, Baron buff, we need to clear this. I think everything's okay. Caitlin's walking up. Wait for the spell effects from the... Like, this is when you panic, right? You're just like, what the hell is even happening? Oh my god. I would have ran away as well. I would have been like, what is happening?
Right, but the timing is really good, right?
Yeah.
It comes as everybody groups in the mid lane. They get some free shots on the turret as a result. Cannon Minion survives the Baron buff. They're able to clear out wards. Like, everything that zoned everybody off is really nicely done.
Great.
Timing was excellent.
They walk up, Caitlyn, Graves is getting autos.
I mean, 6A is getting dick done a little bit by the Azir soldiers.
Maokai also is in...
You know, the story of today was...
Why is Maokai poking from the side?
The story of today was, like, people who don't know how to sieging. Did you notice, like, how many games were thrown by 80 carries with no summoners while they tried to siege? I mean, this is really dangerous. Okay, so let's talk about what they should have done. Because CLG obviously doesn't know how to siege, as we've seen this game. So...
But what's the Maokai doing?
Yeah, exactly. That's another problem. But look at this. You see, there are no summoners over here, right? Where is the Maokai? Oh, what? What?
He
Okay.
threw a sapling from there and then went back there.
Okay, he's up here. So where Maokai needs to be
Is shielding for the Graves to get
is
auto
right
attacks in.
is right here. Maokai wants to be right here, right?
Yeah.
And if Maokai was here, then Azir can't walk up like this and poke the ever-loving shit out of Stixay, which is what's going to happen. So Stixay is going to lose like 2/3 of his HP
Wait
bar.
for it. That's
And remember, he has no vamp at this point.
But like literally, this play is that Stixay like dicks a million traps in front of their face, and then Maokai walks up, and what can they do?
Yeah, but look at this. If Maokai was here, like, why is it his job to throw a ward over there?
Like if Xiaohu has flash, maybe you're a little bit scared after getting dicked under the turret, but he doesn't even have flash.
Yeah, well, like, look how much damage, though, that he ends up gets hit by spirits.
The baseball approach.
But this is what happens. This is the results of you not having zones for your AD carry on a turret. Like, you need to be standing there. Well, I don't even know why. Like, what is Aframoon doing?
He's dodging the spear like you're supposed to, Monty. Just dodge it.
Did he step on a Nidalee trap? I guess he did. Like, I guess no one's gonna help Stixay. This isn't Stixay's fault,
I mean,
guys. This is his team's
Smithy
fault.
walked up and did what he was supposed to do. Because remember, Graves does excellent turret damage.
It's like, who needs a front line for AD carry with no summer spells? It's like CLG's like multiple fail siege in the mid lane again.
But this isn't the way they play. And like they're doing a pretty good impression of a team that knows how to play a siege comp. Remember, this is a world championship, I guess, of some sort.
I mean, that's not acceptable at this kind of
They
competition.
probably win scrims against renegades with this comp.
They probably do. I can't deny that.
Because like Stixay's item build is he's pretty ready to go. Very safe turret damage.
This is one of my favorite.
Where he tries to like.
This is one of my favorite parts of the game where like
tries to
Xiaohu
share the
just
ult.
dodges behind Whoosh. He's like, he's like, you
Better you than me! I like how he curves the bullet. That was like, what's that movie with Angelina Jolie with the curved bullets?
I have no idea.
Oh my god. Someone in the Twitch chat definitely knows. Aurelion Sol's hilarious.
Here it comes.
I'd run away right now. I'd be like, what the? I swear.
So again, a good timing around
Yeah.
the ult, but
It's so contrived, but it works really well.
Darshan just like doesn't know how to walk up on turrets and protect anybody.
Well, the thing he needs to understand is that his pathing is different to everyone else's, and that he is the one that checks all the blushes the rest of the team needs to walk next to.
So the best part about this is like
He has no backup at all, which is hilarious.
this.
What are we looking at?
Look at the smite,
Where?
Smithy.
Oh, right, yeah. I didn't see that. Is it a 15-second cooldown or a full cooldown? Can you play the clip? Is it a short cooldown or like, is this like a charge?
No,
No, it's like it literally doesn't have smite.
yeah.
Not even like
Right, no.
it just
Don't
like
you love it?
we got this. We got 2 traps down. I like how like Nidalee has no help. Watch this. Literally MXG just like
That was actually a really good reaction flash
I
too,
know.
because otherwise we were gonna hit by the trap.
he was very dead if that happened.
That was actually really good. I didn't notice that when I first saw it.
Watch how close he gets to it too. He pounces. and
Does it
then-
actually start to animate trigger?
Well, we'll find out because it'll be gone after he flashes. No.
Oh, so close. That's really well played.
He would have been like 10 units away from
Yeah.
acquisition, and he was dead.
Yeah, it's really close. Why the fuck would you do that? Like, let's just talk about why that was so stupid.
Hey, calm down now.
What? I feel calm. I feel amused. Bemused even.
There's definitely amusing games coming up.
Like, so you clear out the vision. Okay, so let's take stock of what they've got. They've got 2 pink wards here, so they should have enough to black out vision, right? One should go in this brush. There it goes. One should go in the pit. Where is it? After put your ward down. okay, I guess they're not going to do it. So instead of making this really shit play, they could have just waited for the smite to come back up and been perfectly fine.
It's fine to start the dragon. Like, I think hitting it once is okay to see what RNG do,
Yeah.
but like,
So now they just like totally screwed themselves because it's 4 dragons to 0, and the gold lead is kind of irrelevant. Like 3K is not a big deal right now. So try and transition this into a push, but there's nobody there to actually push. Like it's super sloppy the way they do this.
I mean, they pushed the minion wave up at least, but you're right.
First off, Royals should have already responded to this. Like I don't even know what they're doing. Like what are Whoosh and Looper doing right now?
Looper's like, I'm gonna take red.
Massive minion wave. You're like, maybe they're gonna come down considering there's no minion waves there. So they should have just recalled sooner and attempted to get more priority onto this minion wave on the bottom side, but it doesn't actually matter. They do have to use culling though, which kind of sucks, but it's alright. So there we go. CLG just runs out of gas. Well, how did Stick say that? Oh, this is the one where he has no summoners still. No, he does have summoners. What the? Does he?
Probably. I can't tell if that's almost or not. I mean, he'll probably flash, right?
First off, that was a great engagement by Mata. And then Looper, too. Like,
go back again, though, because remember, Mata, again, like, the Moby Boots thing is what's throwing people off. Like, watch how he gets this engage. So he's just walking around. He's actually lost the Moby Boots.
Yeah, because he got hit by the smoke screen.
He doesn't have it now. So, like, Looper takes a trap.
But, first off, the coordination between Mata and Looper here is crazy
Does he
good.
flash over the trap?
Yes. So that's really good. But watch what Looper does, too, because the follow-up with the ultimate there is just ridiculous, because look at that.
To the scoop. It's like a point blank ult, right?
Yeah. Point blank ult from Looper is going to get the other knock-up right here. Oh, no, he doesn't even ult. What the fuck? Oh, he just actually flashes and Heroics charges in.
Yeah.
So, I should go for it a little bit. So again, Mata really saved. Okay. First off, he gets hit by. That's the other problem. I mean,
he puts down a trap, then he like walks up to the chart. Is at minimum going to get hit.
Well,
by
I just don't even know why they're trying to 4-man siege right now when they know there are 5 people here. And yeah, Darshan's in base, but like, are you going to dive this turret? Are you trying to kill the turret so that you can push forward and then TP in? Right? Because they got like a ward. I can't really show you guys right there. They got a ward there. So they could theoretically, if they, flank if they kill the turret. But nobody else is on the same page. And Stixay is just like left high and dry, like tanking a turret. I mean, first off, that was a shit play. I don't know what he thought was going to happen right there. There's no minions. There's nobody tanking that turret. He walks directly into a spear, takes a turret shot immediately thereafter, and then Mata's just able to just wreck him. And Looper is going to flash forward right there, and then watch Looper. He just gets the angle, and because MLXG also is able to get in after he lands the spear. See, right? Cougar form, pounce, get wrecked, everybody getting wrecked. Stixay has Ignite on him right now, too, from Mata. Looper gets easy positioning, heroic charge. Like, Stixay just has no chance. He could have flashed right there. He did hit his heal. But it was a very narrow window.
He was definitely dead.
Yeah. And MLXG's going to hit another spear. That was really good. I mean, Darshan comes in with the TP. Where is he? Oh, he's coming in from behind.
Yeah.
Ooh. But that was a really good ult. to keep Looper alive from Xiaohu, so they read it really well. You know what's interesting is that CLG actually went through with that plan after they started losing that fight. Because Darshan should not have tried to flank initiate right there. When did he actually start his channel? Alright, well that's fair, actually.
So he home guards through the turret from that ward that he's coming onto.
I mean, that's just terrible. Like, why would you go that way? That's a huge misplay.
Well, especially when
you have to go this way.
Yeah.
Not this way, right?
I mean, there's a world where going that way works, but literally not when Caitlyn's dead. Like,
yeah. Well, it doesn't even work.
I mean, if you 100%
No way.
need to get that particular target, you don't know if you have the angle.
No way. Like, as soon as all 5 members of Royal are in right here, who are you flanking right now?
Well, Xiaohu, clearly.
But there's nobody there. They're all together. They're all in front of the turret. Like, he makes this decision super late. It's just a bad play.
Sure.
And just the poke is ridiculous right now,
Yeah.
right?
If you noticed, it was Riley's first in Italy. Just becoming more common, less and less role, obviously.
I mean, yeah, you're just not getting away from this.
MXGs are really good in Italy.
Yeah. I mean,
Really good
he
base.
landed all his spears. Not like some of those spears were hard to land, because Stixay was literally just, like, begging for it.
How do you beg for a spear?
Well, you turn your back around, and you drop your pants, and you bend over.
And you say, is there a mating call for spears?
We'll have to ask Stixay about that.
Hey.
But we joke about Stixay, but like several times his front line has been out of position on this. Like they have not been zoning for him.
But then he was frontlining a turret shot and a spear. Like,
yeah, that was silly.
at best, he was going to trade a turret shot for. Like, there's no reason to walk up.
Yep.
And it's like Flash, Headbutt, Pulverize.
And the problem is that when he dies, like most of their damage goes away. I don't even know why you path that way. Ugh, ugly. So they're finally getting some forward vision down, though. That's a positive. Got a stun, okay. Mata has to use his ultimate. Looper's looking for a flank position. That was well played by Stixay.
Yeah. Huli played it well as well.
Yeah.
Everyone's getting screwed over by the Riley's. No minion wave.
Yeah, game could have ended right here, theoretically, if the minion wave had been there. But
Yeah. If the minion wave was down, they would have at least got base turrets.
so, I mean, he ults right away.
Stuns Mata.
Right.
Yeah.
Ults right away.
They kite out Mata. That's a good play. They don't over.
Well, what Darshan's flank here is also very good,
Yeah.
right? Because he's going to tangle up Mata with the Twisted Advance right as the Unbreakable Will goes down, so it's really easy to pick him off. And they know Looper's not there, and they know Looper doesn't have teleport. So, good engage here by CLG. Stixay.
Who he gets like all of the spheres as well. He plays that really well. I was just watching the Aurelion Soul. Just like understanding what Aurelion Soul brings to a fight is interesting in terms of like damage output.
So, they have to go for Baron instead, which I think is fine. Like, you're not in threat right now. There isn't going to be some resurrecting champion that's really going to mess you up.
Take it forever.
Yeah.
disastrous for this RNG team, and they've just given up the ultimate.
Okay, so that's all good.
Wait for it to time out to re-engage. They kill the tank, but MLXG
Good target
was going for
selection.
an assassination on Xmithie.
Well, it's just another weird fight. Like, this is the second time that Royal has, like, half gone in, half gone out of a fight. And they don't seem to know where all of them are on the map if they can't see each other on the screen. Like, Looper just has...
Able to then clean up more fights. Xiao, who goes for a hero play at the
I don't know.
end, but
I don't know what Yahoo was doing here, though. Oh, get in there.
Wei Shan?
Danger.
With Dragon 5, by the way, spawning in 50 seconds.
So many questions coming into this.
Doing it again, but they don't quite have the minions in place. It's
Doody-doo-doo.
ahead of them. He has to
Oh.
break it. Failed attempt.
Not this time around. But for CLG, 20 seconds until Dragon. Do not give up the next one. Xmithie has got Smite available.
Oh, are they going to catch MLXG? They're not quite in position for this fight. Stixay was in the river.
There's no
Oh.
real support here from CLG.
Stixay has done nothing because he's not there.
Very tanky front line. The hammer goes out and finds nobody. CLG forced retreat. This could be important.
Well, nothing happened there.
Shots below 50%.
Yeah, but he got poked super hard, right? Right before this dragon spawns.
It's Maokai with Spirit Visage.
Teleports into one of these team
Well,
fights.
still has to take time, right?
True.
Scuttle control. And now Darshan is going back to
That's
reset.
teleport.
They really want this fifth dragon, but they
He's looking
have
for
to
the
be careful.
teleport now.
If they don't get the right fight, a lost fight loses them the game, even if they can
Teleporting in.
Here comes
It's a good ward for it.
Excellent ward for it. One potential.
Ends it. Darshan's running in. He's got the maelstrom.
Chooses Looper because he's the closest target.
There's no hammer. The voice of light goes down and a good collateral damage.
Ooh!
Yeah.
That's the problem, though. You fight in these choke points against the Azir and you just get owned.
And then this is a
Oh, this is
Fashion
hilarious!
1v3.
So Looper comes back in with TP. I forgot about this. This is
This is really
hilarious.
fun. Does he have Iceborne Gauntlet at this point?
Yes. See.
Yeah.
So he finally has it, but he has to walk into that trap. He's like trap dodging right now. Gets slowed.
This is definitely Sideshow Bob.
I love this stuff.
Chasing it down. This is for Penta. Running away with his life. Most of the wall. Stixay
And Stixay's even getting the headshots from the...
Yeah.
90 caliber net follows through. Not the longest fight ever.
The stylish finisher there at the end.
Oh, great. Tank Wars.
And a kill from Stixay, and Looper comes out on top because he teleported back into that fight after the start.
So, I mean, this fight starts looking good, right? And you feel pretty strong about it. There's the ult from Darshan. It just popped right there. You do have to... I actually disagree with his engage right here. Like, because the thing... I know, I really do. Because the thing about it is that you can always go onto Whoosh, right? And
The problem is Whoosh is a long way away from me.
he also has QSS, but even if he QSSs and dashes out, you're still maximizing your ability to get a nice arcane smash and a choke point, right? And what you're also doing is you're isolating Looper with all your damage, who's going to take damage faster than an ulting Maokai who's like knocking people up and CCing them. So I think you don't go onto Looper right here. Because the problem with this team fight, at least from my perspective, is that when you see the rest of CLG come in, they end up in a choke point with a bunch of sand soldiers and a culling hitting them, right? And that's what does most of the damage for Royal as this thing unfolds, right? So let's take a look. Sorry, I'm going to slow this down.
This is crazy. So
Because really, the Maokai doesn't do anything.
Sure.
Darshan engaged.
So
Right,
so
that is a, and the other thing too is like,
theoretically,
I think Aurelian Soul should have flash ulted too. I think Huhi should flash and ult right here.
Has he already ulted at this point? He has, right? He just ulted.
He just ulted, yeah. Because if we go back,
Friends, MSI is bonkers already.
This is crazy. So Darshan.
because here's the ult
Yeah.
from Aurelian Soul,
Great
right?
ult.
Well, I think you can set it up better if you kind of reposition it. Well, maybe you can't. No, it's good.
They get a big
Aftermath was good too.
Modest double pulverize is good too. Because they get
But
they kill.
I mean, once the sand soldiers get repositioned, though, they just walk straight into Sand Soldier Central.
Six Ace just casually killing everyone. I mean, Six Tape had this good.
That crit too.
Yeah.
That crit doesn't happen. Stixay just dies instantly.
He hit him with the net as well.
Yeah. I hate crit.
To be fair, he has a lot of it. At this point.
I don't care. I think it's such a stupid stat. They took away all the other RNG in this game, although they're slowly adding it back in with silly ass elemental dragons.
Yeah. Sometimes you won't see a type of dragon.
Why can't you just choose which buff you want to get?
No. What, you mean talk to the dragon about you show up to?
No, you just like get some kind of crystal, and whoever like picks up the crystal gets to choose the buff, because that would actually allow you to play certain types of team compositions more reliably. Why don't you do that?
No. You can have random dragons. You can like it.
I don't like it at all.
Well, we didn't like the Rift Herald when we came around on it, so...
No,
Here's to hoping that RNG
I'm never gonna come around on RNG Dragon.
How about if you can buy an item to increase your randomness about the dragon? And then this is like randomly another fight instantly. RNG played the run at Xmithy, and that worked super effectively.
There's nobody killed Looper left though. That's the problem. Like, oh, he's back. All right, there we go. All right, we didn't actually see the start of that fight because we're gonna replay, so I'll watch that in a second.
So they don't have a minion wave. Both minion waves are pushing against them, so they only have mid to go to.
Yeah, because they haven't had side minion wave control this entire fucking game.
When's the respawn?
Well, you have bot lane's gonna be up really soon
guess
for
Whoosh
Royal.
died, yeah,
Whoosh and Mod will be
died
up. They
earlier.
can't push this. They can't end.
So we'll get the answering dragon, though.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll see the replay in just a second.
So another Mart initiation.
Guess he's not
Jack
there
was
again.
Nowhere near this.
No, he's not there. And MLXG comes over the wall onto the dragon and aggroes the dragon
But
immediately.
I mean, Mart shouldn't be initiating that. Like, that's...
No, it's again, but it's just like this the millionth time this game where Xiaohu just hasn't been there for these fights. Where's
But,
the...
well, who's the fault on? Is it Xiaohu for being there late, or is Marta to finish in too early?
Yeah, he's definitely going in too early. Well, there's no reason for you to go in, right? Like, what's the point? What's the point of going in, really? Like, are you
Dragon
stopping
wasn't
the...
even
Yeah, exactly! Exactly!
MXG pounces on it getting over.
Yeah, exactly. There's no dragon aggro, so who cares?
I mean, that's just communication issues. Like, that's Marta and Xiaohu not being on the same wavelength.
Yeah.
They were earlier, but...
I feel it's such a crapshoot with Royal as to whether they actually are on the same page or not. I understand why they want to engage this fight, because Stixay is not there.
He's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
He only just spawns now.
But you just gotta wait for that.
But, like, why are Xiaohu and Lupa running after Graves while Whoosh dies for free to the tanks in the front line? Like, it doesn't make any sense.
No.
Because obviously they're going to take time, but probably get kills, but that gives time for the respawn.
Yeah. And they get denied the dragon, and they lose their inhib, so they just get screwed.
I just feel like if you commit to going for a fight, which is fine given the dead Caitlyn, like, you can't also just leave your 80 carry to die.
Is that how you feel?
Xiaohu got a super aggressive build. No Zonias, no Abyssal, no resists. It's the I will kill people build.
Wow.
No Zonias. Boom!
Free flash, free ult. I don't even know why Looper's there. What's he doing?
He's like, what's happening over here? Oh god.
He doesn't even use his ward. I have no idea why he's walking there. Okay.
This is something that CLG will be fairly comfortable with, grouping to push this tower, considering how low it is as well.
Yeah, Afro needs to catch up with the team a little bit. I don't think this
Okay, so this is a fine siege. Get free tower. I'm going to point out that Darshan is still not in the right place.
He's behind everybody. Well, he's on level with Stixay, I guess.
He should be
I know.
down and left of where he is right now.
It's chilling, going back to base. See you guys.
20 seconds until Baron. In actual fact, CLG will lose objective, look at another team fight, and it still could be RNG.
It's hilarious that the one time he goes Rambo, they lose the game. He's like, alright, I've got Thorn Mail, I'm feeling good about it.
But they need to be able to continue to go in, and CLG in particular, for changing their strategy.
Elixir now on to Xiaohu too, so.
Rift, Scuttler, Steel, Scuttle Crab, Steel there, but
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
he is angling this one.
Well, that's still funny.
Style that they're showing, they have the ability to pull it off. It's been a little messy, few mistakes here and there. For the most part, CLG have done well, and they've used this Star Search combo multiple times. So there's no
Doo-doo-doo-doo.
use this to try and
Random
Yeah,
spear.
no.
most likely. They literally just use that to clear wards in the Baron area and prep a fight.
You have to give some props to CLG.
There they go on a Machai.
Shan dies so fast.
He doesn't ult.
I know. He also just advanced onto Alistar. And gets instantly pulverized and killed.
Well, I just don't know why you wouldn't hit R before you go in.
Onto Alistar.
Like,
To be clear, Alistar has all of his summons. He got instantly pulverized.
well, there's also no follow-up, right?
Yeah, I mean, like, no one is anywhere near him.
Did he flash for that?
No.
No, he didn't. Okay.
So the problem is that maybe he thought he was coming with him, but like,
Hey, what is Huhi gonna do from over there, right? So he like,
'Cause Huhi
and
was behind
that
him.
is literally the worst person. I mean, notice this.
Mata expects this, which is hilarious.
He predicts it. He sees the twisted advance coming through, and he doesn't even use his ultimate,
Not
right? Until right now. So he actually gets the pulve off for free while he
The pulve cancels the animation,
yeah.
if you notice. And then he dies instantly.
Well, there's this ult finally, right?
Yeah.
And he has like
But see,
10% HP.
yeah, he dies. But like, who he like was behind. I know he dies after the animation.
What did he die to? Does he
died
die
to,
to
like-
red buff?
He dies to burn from red buff.
Yeah.
But the issue is that like before this happens, Huhi and Maokai in the same spot. Huhi goes for a flank, and Darshan gets owned. Because remember, Woosh was really good at denying those initiations, and now Alistar just owns him basically.
Yeah, and also with Aframugon too, the majority of the front line is just shit out of luck.
Well, now Huhi can't be a faux frontliner. He has to be
Yep.
back, and then obviously everyone just dies. Bouncy castle. See ya.
That's it.
That's a triple kill for Whoosh. Counter logic gaming. They thought they had position. They thought they had it. But they
CLG played mostly pretty good here. Really.
Fights back with the quadra.
What?
Their
Get out!
Their impersonation of being able to play this comp was pretty impressive.
Get out of here. Get out.
Then how did it? Why was it so close, Monty?
Because, okay, you don't know why this game was so close. So Royal was fighting 4v5, and CLG was failing sieges. It was basically a...
Which is more egregious? See? Got you there.
There were some okay moments, right? But for the most part, the win condition play was extremely erratic from both sides. It was like Zhao who wasn't there for a lot of the fights, and like half of Royal was going in and half of it was going out. And CLG was either, they misplayed their engage at the end, but the amount of like times that their sieges got stuffed from just terrible positioning on a turret is just, it's just bad.
That was not a good game of League of Legends.
No, and like they just let Stixay, they just left him out to dry on so many of those sieges.
To be
too.
fair,
like,
Woosh also was left out to dry a lot.
yeah. Oh man. All right, we're gonna go on to the next game. I guess. You have any other final thoughts? It's a pretty bad game.
It's not the worst of the night.
That's well.
It's
I
not
think-
the worst of the night.
Is it? Are you saying because one team played badly or worse in a different game? Because I'm pretty sure there isn't another game where both teams play this badly.
With rays of hope. Yeah, okay. They did some things well, but lots of things terrible.